strong on-stage experience as possible before relegations, right? You want to ensure that you are as prepared for those best ofs as possible. And AaB, they're actually on red side. I feel like anytime I've seen Rate there for the longest been on red side. We'll see what this actually ends up doing to the draft. As Rate, they will move away the Hecarim, the Thresh, and Jinx will be the first ban coming out from AaB. We'll see if they go for the full trio of, you know, Zeri, Aphelios as well, or whether or not they will go for something a little further away from that. And of course, Nomi Swain has to be targeted, and I think that definitely makes a whole bunch of sense. But now you leave Zeri or Aphelios up, and Nomi definitely capable of playing those two champions as well.
And we're going to see the Kai'Sa taken off the table, which makes sense. A very flexible pickup. We've seen it multiple times today in multiple different roles. And now it'll be on AaB to decide what they want to take away. The Zeri is still available, the Aphelios too. So some kind of hyper carry will make it through. It's whether Rate want to put that on Nomi or if they want to go for something a little bit different. Of course, the volley bear has been high priority all of today as well. So it's potential to see that one taken. But it will be the Zeri, meaning Aphelios could be the pickup.
Yeah, Aphelios could be the pickup. You could also see a pivot away from the Aphelios and maybe even go for the Jhin. We've seen people lean on the Varus to play into both of those champions as well. So we'll see. And like you said, you know, the Volley Bear definitely been high priority. The Xin's out still up. Also plays that a lot of Lee Sin as well. Plenty of options, not just in AD carry, of course, but jungle. Xin, however, one way feels like is one of his stronger champions, if not his strongest, and lock that one in for Boas. Now, on the opposite side, I expect the Volibear to be confirmed and likely the Jhin as well, just to get, you know, a lot of that strong bottom side skirmish and setup there and ready for you to play towards if you have to.
The question being, what will Gunkas and Boas decide to be locking in for their team? The Karma is a champion we've seen banned quite a lot, so it's going to be locked in, and the Volibear alongside, making it a clean sweep for the Bear. And the question is, what do Rate want to put up against it? In the bot lane, of course, Karma's a little bit flexible too.
Not only that, but Toby's Twisted Fate is so commonly banned. Again, this time around, it's actually gone through. So I think that Rate should be picking this one up quite happily, and we'll probably look towards their bottom lane pick if I had to take a guess after the fact. Of course, it's a bit of a no-brainer, and it's one of those things, even earlier on in the split, I think this is maybe the second time, third time at most, that Toby's had a Twisted Fate. I think it was Verdant all the way back in maybe week 1, week 2. They just didn't ban Twisted Fate against Topi, and Topi dismantled Verdant that game on the pick. And it's been almost unanimously banned away from him since. However, gets his hands on it this time around. And like I said, I expect a bottom lane pick. I'm not sure whether it'll be Nomi's or not, but it seems like it'll be Persons instead. They've got the Nautilus, they've got the Twisted Fate, bunch of CC. Want to see a very high damage AD carry now come in for Nomi so that they can leverage all of this utility they have in their comp right now.
It's going to be on Blueburn to decide what he wants to be taking for the team. As you said, they haven't got a marksman either for AaB, so they might want to grab that one, something that can go up against the Nautilus. Of course, Aphelios doesn't have the best time into it. They might go for something a little bit flexible themselves. Of course, the Syndra could go down into the hands of Ribery, but Blueburn also can play it. Now the question is, where will these bans fall?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for AaB, I think they just look towards, you know, probably stripping away the AD carry pool, but maybe they just go for tops because Arcane Teddy, yeah, the Fiora ban, and then probably the Camille 2 follow. I've had to wager a guess. As you do have the Karma there, maybe you just feel like, yeah, banning out AD carries, you just lose too many in the pool, and you don't really want to lose that. Rate, however, despite not having an AD carry, are still very comfortable banning away the Jhin, which says to me then, perhaps they will look towards the Varus, perhaps they'll look towards the Xayah as well. I think maybe the Xayah would be the one that I would move away out of the two. Being able to dodge out on gold cards and depth charges feels kind of obnoxious, so I would probably remove away the Xayah. There's the expected Camille ban into Arcane Teddy. And I'm hoping for Rate's sake that we see a Xayah ban, though if they don't, well, we'll see how they play into the ultimate and the champion, of course, as well. If you're expecting to see Karma come in on the bottom side, the Ezreal ban makes sense in that regard. Of course, very self-peely, has the Arcane Shift to work with, so that's gone. I still feel like the Xayah is the better call, though, in my opinion. If you had to deal with Karma and Ezreal, but you had a Nautilus, you can always go a kill lane into the Ezreal. It can become a little more hairy with the hyper carry potential of Xayah. We'll see what they do, though. That's personally my call out for an AD carry pick. We'll see what they look for, though.
With Tristana being locked in, so a bit off the wall, but champion we've seen plenty of in the past. Really going into the hands of Ribery. I mean, technically a flex between it and Syndra mid, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will happen either. I think we're more likely to see Syndra in the mid lane than Tristan in the bottom side. So now what will Nomi go for? Because that's 2 AD carries banned away. He himself could technically go for the Xayah. No way you're going for Vayne here. He's gonna go for Vayne. He could. Oh, I mean, I was gonna say, is it Arcane Teddy's Vayne? But I mean, I doubt it is. This is really bold. This is Tristana. I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure an AD carry player will try and correct me at some point. I'm pretty sure Tristana used to absolutely dunk on Vayne. That was like the matchup that you took if you saw a Vayne. So I'm curious to know why Nomi has locked it in. There's present enough hard CC. There's even a Tether on the AaB comp. I'm kind of confused about the lock-in. Arcane Teddy will take the Aatrox up into Gunkus' champion pool. And what will Gunkus now lead the charge on? Because Karma, very flexible, but the top laners are being hovered. So I'm expecting Karma will be in Tun's hands into this Nautilus Vayne. And we will see Gunkus on a pick. Will it be his very famed set, which he's been performing on quite well recently? It seems like no lasting a pivot over to Leona. So it's going to be Leona plus that Tristana, which I prefer more. Just go for the engage into the Vayne. Send Gunkus up onto the Karma in the top side. Gunkus is going to have to be careful. This is one of the matchups where Aatrox, when Karma briefly came into Mara in the top lane, I'm pretty sure that it was Aatrox that came out as a counter pick to deal with that sort of annoying poke range, simply because you land Infernal Chains, you can kind of try and speed out of it, but more times than not, you actually just can't. And unfortunately, you end up just kind of getting pulled back in. The trade's kind of nice. And Aatrox has enough sustain in his kit to kind of deal with the poke. So you're never really, or you should never be in threat of getting solo killed. But stepping back, looking at the team comps, I think they're probably very comfortable and happy with their comps. Picking Vayne here, I think, is very bold, but we'll see if they can make it work. I think there's enough point and click CC now that the draft has been rounded up by AaB to deal with this Vayne, but they've got a lot of setup, a lot of utility, right? From the Twisted Fate, from the Nautilus, to provide peel for this Vayne and actually let her do her thing. On the opposite side, though, I think across the board, winning lane matchups, with the exception of maybe the top lane, but even then saying that, that's range versus melee. Gunkus should be able to get priority on the first couple of waves. So Bobas has a lot to work with here.
Yeah, he's got absolutely tons to be moving around the map, deciding exactly where he wants to be putting that pressure and which lanes need either the help or the massive lead that can be provided for that. But I am very, very excited to see how this Vayne comes off because, as you said, there's setup, there's utility, there's things that can facilitate this Vayne to work. And if they're able to do just that, then we know this is a champion that can completely take over games. And if you're a fan of this team, it's going to be all about just keeping her alive until he gets to that 20-25 minute mark, a few items on top of her, and she's going to be able to rip through literally everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still do worry, right? There's 2 point and click spells, albeit they're coming from melees, so it can be kind of easy to kind of kite out of them. Plus the tether, though, I think that's the bigger thing for me, because if Gunkus is ever in range of Nomi, even through the final hour, you can be revealed. Tether is one of the few things that actually reveals invisibility. So I do definitely worry for Nomi. But if you can get through the laning phase, get to that 2-item mark, like you call out, right? Vaynes can often build quite a wide range of combinations of the first 2 items. So I'm not going to call out, anything in particular. Besides maybe the very traditional one at the moment is still Shield Bow into Quintus, and then with that build, actually, typically I've seen a lot of tank items come out, things like the Renduins, things like you can't go extra car, but magic resist items, maybe like the Quicksilver Mare. I can't remember what that item is called, but the one that gives crit and it has a QSS on top of it as well. Things like that to actually play out the game, but defensive items nonetheless. Topi on the Twisted Fate as well, very fun to see. Don't get to see it often, and oh boy, Will, get your voice ready. You see what I see? Because I see
2 teams walking at each other, and one of them getting spotted out on a ward. Rate are going to be lit up like a Christmas tree.
Oh, AaB, they're going to wait. They're just going to stay in the push. They think they can get the 1v1. Okay. Over the wall. Are they just going to...
the reset's coming on through from Rate. They're just going to go back. They don't want to make this play work. And AaB just holding on, just like, what? Oh, Arcane Teddy might walk back on his own, though. He's going to be spotted out. AaB know that the play has dissipated, and they're all going to reset as well. Whew. I don't know whether to be relieved or a little bit disappointed.
What are we... I'm just kind of surprised Rate didn't go the full distance with this invade, to be honest.
They
obviously, when they see nobody guarding the tri-bush, it's obviously cause for concern. So, irrespective, but Bobas? Gunkus? Bobas?
There's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, very late into that, decides not to go for it. And I mean, definitely understand not wanting to take the flippy play, but you'd already committed your time over there. Why wait? And now pings come down as Born This Way gets information on Bobass's start, and that it's very, very late. And that's going to be a pretty big difference in jungle tempo here, because Born This Way should always be almost 2 camps ahead of the Volibear. Bobass had to smite to at least keep tempo on the first 2 camps. Now the fight for level 2 ensues, which AaB's bottom lane should definitely win. The explosive charge push.
Yes.
And one thing to know as well, Nomi did not take cleanse. Nomi does have exhaust, so mostly looking, beg your pardon, to look for exhausts onto Tristana when she jumps in, or of course if she's ever in range of Syndra. Syndra to stop her from getting 100 to 0'd. But no cleanse means Tun, if she ever finds a CC combo, that's it. That's you being locked down. You're never getting out of that. And follow-up will almost certainly be there. Definitely a bold summoner choice. We'll see how it pays off, though.
Definitely. It's very much more aggressive, and if Nomi's positioning is on point, then it could be very, very effective. However, put out by something like the Leona, or even the Volibear, things will look pretty grim, because exhaust probably won't save you. But let's move forward. They're flashing. It's aggressive from AaB. They're going to be able to pick up first blood here, and it's going to be given over to Ribery on the Tristana. That's double buffs as well.
Yeah, that's double buffs on the Tristana lane, where you're probably going to have kill pressure. That feels bad for Nomi in person. Born This Way, just off the back of the jungle clear, looking for something in the river. I mean, not too sure why he'd want to be there. Bobass, you know Bobass is going to be down on that side of the map, and you didn't have first move. As Bobass wants a flash over wall on Topi. Arcane Teddy's roamed down. Blue Ben not trying to sell this at all. But Topi has a rough idea. He's going to flash over the wall.
But Topi's immediately going to respond, so it's just an exchange of resources.
Yeah, I think that ward just at the entrance there of the jungle meant that Topi had a rough idea that this could be going on. It just expired, but it was on that ramp. So Topi pays a lot of respect, does due diligence, and was paying attention to the bottom side of his screen here as Blue Ben winning out on the pot war, has the cookies as well. Definitely helping, but has a wave shoved in. Minion dematerializer from Topi, something we commonly see from some of the more experienced TF players in certain matchups like this, where Syndra can often very easily gain prio, but that minion dematerializer does shake things up in terms of the lane prio. It does mean that you can oftentimes also get pretty good reset timers for yourself as well, if you absolutely need to use it to buy it for that.
Just aggressively shoving in that wave, wants to go back and just jumping onto those last couple of meters to do so. Luckily didn't get caught out by Pearson, but he went for the hook because that would have been pretty bad for Tristana. Fortunately with cleanse and flash, probably would have had a way out, but wants to retain those for a different kind of play. The top side is being quiet. You wouldn't expect there to be too much ranged into melee, but again, Teddy's actually the one who's up in farm.
Yeah, I mean, easier to farm on the Aatrox than it is the Karma. All attacks kind of slow. Aatrox, of course, being a melee champion, and kind of just sitting there with that Doran shield, with all the sustain from his kit. Might even have second wind as well, I'd expect, just to soak up and regen on all of the poke. That's all you really need to do. Hit a Q every now and again, and like 100 HP a pop. You can cruise through that lane. Hasn't even used his health pot from the first base. And that's why Aatrox such a decent pick into the Karma, if you're expecting it to be in the top lane. Just really hard to solo kill. Really hard to force out the Aatrox, which is normally Karma's strong suit as a laner. Can bully out so many of the other laners that she is commonly picked into. AaB, with all this bottom lane priority and the mid lane priority, they will get that dragon. Topi does have level 6, but time is a little bit awkward. They don't want to force into not too much information, and they don't want to use the ultimate of Topi to get that information. So dragon secured by AaB, very clean, don't lose anything. Though actually, I'll take that back. I'm not sure if Born that this way caught that chicken camp. That's down. It's quite a layer though.
Age onto Pearson needs to be a little bit careful. A lot of damage going down onto Nautilus, but Nomi is moving forward, and Leona is in trouble too. It's going to be the kill going over to Nomi with the assistance of Twisted Fate.
Yep, Topi gets that first Destiny Gate off, and it's successful. Gets the kill given over to Nomi. That's what you want to see from Twisted Fate. It's normally a pretty decent measure of how a team's doing when they are running Twisted Fate. How successful are those Destiny Gates? The first couple, often very telling of how a team may end up doing for the sort of mid-game here, as Ribery could be in danger, but Person's quite low. In fact, almost low enough to die. Trishline goes wide, and Tristana walks away happily.
Able to dance back and see 6 being hit across the map. Of course, we already saw that successful first one, but now Toby needs to be careful because Bobass is looking for the dive. Blueman tanking up tower isn't optimal, and Born this way is there for the assistance. Oh, what?
Well, that
fortunately it was an execute.
Was fortunately an execute, but man, oh man, was that close to being a disaster. Speaking of disasters,
we're using ultimate for the damage as Bobass in a lot of trouble. Will get cut down.
Yeah, we'll get cut down. Red buff there. They had the time up from that ward at the level 2 on level 1. Born this way had the level advantage, and I mean, this is one of those things. Bobass used his time to pick up the dragon. Born this way used it more for farming. Now, Arcane Teddy,
a lot of damage on the Arcane Teddy, but he's going to be able to get Chains of Corruption, forcing the flash away.
That's the thing about Karma. Damage is kind of bursty. It's not really, damage over time. It comes in spikes. So Arcane Teddy very comfortably pops the World Ender, even at 100 HP, and just walks in to Gunkus, knowing that her main damage spell was just off cooldown. Not able to be used. And they do force that flash, and Karma very, very susceptible to gank. So we'll see whether or not Born this way finds the time to make it up to the top side if he wants to actually do anything to this Karma for the next couple of minutes. But obviously the main focal point of the rate draft is all about that Vayne. So we'll see whether or not they will be able to maybe extend the lead of Arcane Teddy, because he is definitely, I would say, contextually ahead. He is down in CS, but range against melee, being within the same CS, being an Aatrox into a couple of decent melees that he can always siphon off of. Not feeling too bad about that one, but it's all about getting this Vayne into a very comfortable position where she can carry the game.
And that's what you need to expect from Nomi on the Vayne, because that's what the composition's been quite obviously built around. Yes, you've got the Aatrox on the top side. Of course, Twisted Fate can do a lot of work as well. But whenever you see a Vayne in a team composition, the eyes are going to be one place after the 20-minute mark, and whether... And Nomi's going to be the focal point of team fights moving forward. Whether that's for Rate or whether that's for AaB's Engage is another question entirely. It could be both, knowing how the games have gone today in other places, but
yep.
Very, very interested to see how that one just continues. As Nomi trying to just freeze onto this wave and keep himself in a nice safe position. Doesn't want to overextend, doesn't want to give opportunities for Tristana to get any more kills, because one apiece in the bot lane would serve Rate pretty nicely.
Yeah, that it would. Herald picked up on the top side by Bobass. And Ribery did pick up that kill in the double buffs, but has since fallen quite far behind in CS, 20 CS down actually. And Bobass is going to sneak into this brush here, but will they clear that middle ward, I think is the important thing. Because I'm not sure, I don't think Bobass was spotted anywhere else. And they were going for the person. Yeah, and that should just be the end of that.
Yeah, it's going to be the end of that. Born this way is down there as well, so it's the opportunity has kind of passed for them to get an advantage. Born this way actually is the one who could maybe sneak into that middle brush, because there is no vision for AaB down there. Just going to move into the alcove and maybe try and sneak into the furthest one. Are we going to be able to see him get in? I think we will. Now they need to be careful, as Ribery might step a little bit too far forward. Wind becomes lightning and they're diving on through, but it's just a simple jump away for Tristana.
Yeah, definitely. I would have liked to have seen a little more patience there. Born this way, getting into a position like that, going to be very, very rare.
Just going to chase Gunkus down towards his tower, and actually takes a decent amount of damage. Karma tries to return it, but it's not going to work this time around. And actually, the dive coming on through, the World Ender picks up the kill.
Yeah, don't step up to Arcane Teddy, man. That's not a fight you're going to win, not 1v1. Gunkus just underestimates Arcane's Teddy's ability to actually find a kill here as Bobas gets hooked in.
Going to get towards the volley bear. A lot of damage. Is going to be a first full team fight. Ripper on the back line. Look for Pearson. Won't be able to find it. Boss needs to be careful. Move back towards Born this way. Waiting for the stun, but Tum will provide it first. The damage comes through. And AaB pick up one. They're looking for a second onto Nautilus. Will be able to find it as Blueman helps secure it. Now they move forward. Nice onto Nomi. It's edge of the seat stuff as Bobas moves forward. Gets condemned away and needs to run. Goes golden to lose the aggro. But now Blueman's in trouble. He manages to float back too. AaB health bar so low. Twisted Fate stands alone, but they pick up 2 kills.
AaB just got away with murder.
I don't know if they got away with it. The stun comes down onto Volibear. That's one. Tun moves forward, can't get the Zenith Blade and will go down 2. They're going to even up the kills with a double kill to Toby. Moving forward, looking for another get the third. What can Ribery do? Dives over the wall to safety, but it's Rate who turn it around.
That is why you ban Twisted Fate against Toby. Yes, AaB had very blinking health bars, but I mean, cleaned up as cleanly as he did. It was absolutely stellar to watch. I mean, it looked like AaB were about to get away with a complete heist, bar losing the dragon. Pick up so many kills. It was really well played from Blueben as well to predict the scat of the week, to land onto Nomi after a tumble on the very back end to make that dive happen. Got a replay just to highlight everything here as Born This Way secures the dragon. Unfortunately for AaB, they weren't able to actually get into the pit. Born This Way a little bit too far forward. Tun flash into daylight break, able to lock down the Xin Zhao, and then resets come in for the Nautilus, and that was just such a nice scat of the week to secure Nomi as Blueben also managed to find that last little attack. Bobas with a very good stopwatch as well to ensure that he doesn't go down to towers. Then the rotation comes in from Arcane Teddy, but Topi does most of the legwork here, to be honest with you. Does force, of course, AaB into a bit of an awkward position, but finds Bobas, picks up Tun, and then over the wall on the Destiny Gate. Gold card, instant stopwatch. Even flares the game over. Excellent play from the Twisted Fate player.
Now Border's diving at the wall towards Bobas, but he's too close to the tower, so will be able to get into safety. That last fight shown what Rate can do. Tun and Ribery, they've been looking to get a repeat play that's a little bit more successful. Get the slowdown onto Pearson and are going to chase forward with the jump, but not going to be able to do too much. The Nautilus is a little bit too tanky with the shield. Ruben hangs around Dragon. Actually, I haven't got the timers on. If we could see those, Mr. Producer, that'd be very helpful just to see when we're going to get objectives. There you go. Thanks very much. 2 minutes on that one, but the team fight's right now as Blueman's the one caught out. Bobas going to get knocked up by the depth charge as well, and it's going to be a kill, a double, in fact, going over to the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, and just, I don't know why that team fight broke out, but seems like Blueben and Bobas just out of position, and Rate able to capitalize with all of the CC. And as I was talking about in the draft, there is so much there to facilitate. Obviously, we spoke about Nomi the carry, but of course, can't really sleep on the ability of Xin Zhao to absolutely decimate a mid game. If he has this much setup, you'd expect him to just kind of walk around the map and do what he's doing right now.
Oh, and we're having fights all over the map. Nomi's in a lot of trouble, needs to be careful. Burns out as Ribery has to dive away. Toby and Pearson looking to move forward towards Tun on the Leona. She should be able to find her way out. Leona able just to wander back as Tun escapes from his pursuers. You can see Boas moving forward, actually. They've got Blueben there as well, so there's a chance that they will be able to get the turnaround kill, but Rate not overextending.
Yeah, curious that Topi didn't commit his ultimate there. I suppose just decided that it would be more useful for the next dragon fight, or perhaps the Herald, so didn't want to use the resource here. As AaB, they're trying to force this mid lane tower. They should just about get it, but it's a fight.
Oh, Toby's ultimate gets the stun down onto Blueben, trying to find Boas though, but he's ripping through. Pearson goes very, very low, but Nomi's here now as well. The Vayne trying to get the third shot for the damage onto Leona, but it's a nice double stun, and now AaB can turn it around. They're going to be able to get one. They can't find Toby just yet, though, as he's able to dance away from the skill shots, as Pearson has to stop his recall to try and keep his mid laner alive. This game is so back and forth.
Yeah, this game is very back and forth. Blueben with another great scat of the week as well. Locks down 2 people, and turnaround comes in. Nomi loses his life. Hard to call who's actually really coming out ahead. By moment, to be honest with you, the gold lead is still dead even. I guess more about talking about who has the gold, and right now it's Topi, It's Burberry. That's about it. You can also talk about Arcane Teddy as well being up there. Has had pretty much a free lane. That's why the Aatrox fits so well into that matchup, into the Karma. Karma just can't really pressure Aatrox typically. AaB, they are going to be here and they are going to start this up. And Arcane Teddy just shoved in a wave top with no teleport. So if Rate do contest this, it's going to be quite half-hearted. It seems like the call will be to just let it go.
Yeah, just going to be able to secure that one. Arcane Teddy will grab himself the tower in the top lane as his own little reward for allowing that dragon to go down. 2 for the side of AaB. And again, it's an Ocean Soul. So no really big scary ones have found their way to the Rift today. I guess they're hibernating for the final day of the split. Of course, that's going to be on Thursday for the regular season. We got playoffs following as well. But right now, Rate want to slap some dominance down, take third position for themselves in this game. AaB down in relegation still, but fighting for pride, fighting to play spoiler, have already done so successfully in the past. And this game is very, very close. You wouldn't look at this game and think one of these teams is already in playoffs or one of these teams is already in relegation.
Yeah, no, you definitely wouldn't. Nameplates off. You would think this is 2 teams very capable of being inside of playoffs, almost. At the very least, they'll be right next to each other on the standings. Gunkus
recalling in a bad position, and it's 2 ultimates, but it is a kill.
Yeah, 2 ultimates is a kill. Burberry, they're looking for something in the mid lane, but they're not going to be able to find it. Person's going to be forced maybe to take an awkward pathing, as he really wants to make it back to this tower, but AaB will eventually give him leeway, as they do expect Spawn this will be coming in for a flank, and they don't want to have to deal with that, as Rate will now likely pick up this Herald. But there will be the mid-wave contested for AaB, so they can move up into this Herald and maybe look, take a peek at what is happening up there, and it will be the case. We could end up seeing a fight for this one, Will.
Good. And I think AaB are going to just force through. Look for Pearson. Will be able to go. The jump forward is aggressive from Ribery. He really needs to find the kill for the reset, but won't be able to do so just yet. As he moves forward, Pearson goes over the wall, and Arcane Teddy's here to break up the fight, but they will be able to get the first kill of the fight onto the Nautilus, but things are broken up. Nomi's untouched as AaB move into a funnel. They move into a choke, but they've already taken down 2. Can they find another? They get the slow one to Borner's way. There's the Zenith Blade and the stun as Ribery dives aggressively forward once again. Should get another, and it's going to be a kill to Tristan to end out the fight. AaB pick up a third and can now move towards the Herald.
They can pick up the Herald, and I mean, 1 minute further into the game, and this is a Baron takedown for AaB. Gonna be feeling quite happy about picking up this Herald at this particular time, just because it's almost as late as you can take it. So now, they could be in a position where they drop this Herald, and they leverage it for Baron. Depending on how things go, I expect they'll use it for, of course, this Dragon, which spawns in 2.5 minutes time, which will put them at soul point. AaB playing like a much stronger team than we've seen out of them throughout the entire split, but it's a trend that we've already seen over the last couple of weeks, that they have been playing better. Looking a little more cohesive. It has typically been through Bobas and Gunkus over the last couple of weeks, but now it's Ribery, Tun, and Blueben that are really stepping up again.
Yeah, got to be a different group of players, but AaB, once you've got all of the players stepping up, it's going to be a good time. And of course, they can't make playoffs, going to be playing in those relegations, but this is how they perform against some of those teams that are going to be looking to step up to this league next split. I think they'll be absolutely fine, and they're going to be able to defend a little bit across the map, but not on this bot side, as it's going to be a tower going to the Twisted Fate.
Yeah, it will be a tower going to the TF. At least stripping away something. Gold difference actually negligible. A couple, like 10s at worst. He's dead even at the moment. That's when you have to kind of track IAM completions here. Topi just picked up the rapid fire cannon with that Everfrost. He is very, very strong. Gunkus, because of the cheap item path, it's actually 2.5 items into his build. He is very, very strong. If he is Def AaB.
Teddy a little bit overextended, but Toby is there. I don't know if Aatrox is going to survive. The World Ender is big as the slow comes down. The root comes down, and the kill might go over to Bobas. He survives with the shield there, and the Unleashed Power picks up the first kill of the fight. Born this way, moving forward, trying to get his team back on track, and takes down Leona, looking for Blueben. The wind becomes lightning as the Destiny Gate's there. The stun won't land because Blueben stuns himself in the stasis, as the knockout from Arcane Teddy is great. Toby moving forward, can't find anything more, though, as they turn towards the Baron.
Yeah, and I think Gunkus was just in the mid lane. They needed Gunkus there for the shields. Wasn't really there to provide it. And if he was, that's maybe a fight that AaB can win. I mean, that's a Moonstone with the anti-healing, and that's the crucial part. They needed the anti-heal to kill Arcane Teddy there, which wasn't a thing, and now they will lose this Baron, but they've got Herald pushing in the mid lane. They should be able to just get another charge. I don't know if they can really make it to this dragon and take it down in time. I think this should be rates to take. Spawn is a little bit awkward, and the reset just ensures with that Baron buff that they're able to be here on time. As AaB, they reset, and they should yield this one.
The members of AaB who are hanging around, Gunkus notably turned there as well. Arcane Teddy sneaks on through and is just hiding in the back of the pit. The push from the Ocean Soul will allow that to happen, but members of AaB are going to be here. They're a little bit late, but Rate haven't put the pressure on. They're looking to get minions going down mid. And now it could be the Dragon Soul point secured by AaB. Of course, not taking Soul yet. That'll be 5 minutes time if they get this Dragon, but Born this way is just going to seed this one.
All right. Definitely looked like a dragon that Rate could have taken, but they will put themselves in a position where now AaB only need one more to get Ocean Soul. And that's definitely a lot of pressure to put yourself under. And I feel if AaB start to group, actually leverage this Karma with the Moonstone, they'll be in a pretty decent position, at least by, you know, that pre-Baron fight, even though they did lose Turn and Bobass quite quickly. I feel like if Gonkus was there to provide that extra bit of utility to the team, they could have maybe turned that, killed off Arcane Teddy quicker, because there was all of that healing available to him. And that's, for me, that's what I want to see AaB do. I want to see them kind of try and deathball into Rate, in my opinion. I think if they try and play too many lanes, they play split, then Twisted Fate just picks them off. And Rate, at the moment, they just have they have lane priority everywhere, so they're always moving first. And speaking of moving first,
Gonkus is moving nowhere, CC'd and killed. As Rate take another, will be able to move to the bot side and take down the tower with the Baron in tow. Question is, can they push forward towards this inhibitor?
Yeah, I mean, just for me, 2-stack, easy pick for Topi to make. Flash doesn't even get burned by Gonkus. Inhibitor, going to be a bit difficult as Syndra has a lot of wave clear available, but I mean, Rate can just go. Rate can just dive them at this point. They've got Depth Charge, they've got Twisted Fate with gold cards, with Rapid Fire. It's very doable. It's going to be Born this way.
Trying to get the pressure down. The tower still stands though, as AaB need to hold up a defense. A nice double knockup at a root will make sure that AaB have little to no chance in this fight. Nomi moving forward. It's the final hour for AaB in this one, but Nomi might have overextended just a little bit. Will be blown up, but the rest of Rate are still here. They've lost the bot lane, but they take the inhibitor, but it will not be the game.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if Nomi doesn't do that, that's game right there. I think they would have ended on the spot. Bobass and Gonkus wouldn't be able to actually defend against 4 members, one of them being a Vayne. Breath of Life, maybe, given by Nomi, but right, they're in a pretty decent position now off the back of that. For now, they can definitely leverage that inhibitor. It's going to be up for 2 minutes after that Baron spawns, and one thing you may notice, Will, which is going to be kind of awkward for Rate to deal with, the Baron and that Dragon, they spawn at basically the same time.
That is tricky for AaB. Spreading their forces thin or having to decide where they actually want to contest is going to be difficult, because they do want that soul. That would help them greatly in these exchanges. They can't really afford to give away Baron, because the pushing power would probably just be too much, especially with that bot lane inhibitor gone. On the other hand, seeding the Dragon, they might not even be able to take down the Baron fast enough in order to make it a decent trade. And I don't think that Rate are really going to allow them to do that anyway as they move up the mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. Rate just going to move in buddy systems here. Born this way with Arcane Teddy, and Topi's here to join the fight.
Onto Bloom, and a lot of damage as well, as Syndra is going to be in trouble. Bobass will be able to get out of that one on about half health, but the tower, no way for that one to escape. It's going to crumble, and it's going to be another objective taken by Rate. They're going to move forward a little bit, but I don't know if they want to overextend here. AaB have some tools for defense with no Baron running on them right now. They're just going to back off, maybe look for a reset, 'cause it's a minute and a half until all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, exactly. Once those buffs spawn up, it's a mega buff for AaB, and it's a Baron for Rate.
Oh, although Boss has been going in the jungle here, no reset was taken. The root and the kill, it's Arcane Teddy securing that one. As right now
boy.
moving towards his mid lane, inhibitor tower should be able to take this one in short order. Born this way, dives on forward, looking towards Toon. Will be able to find him, but he's pretty tanky. Has the shield up, but will be dragged back in to his death. Raid have actually got a couple of quite low health bars. Nomi, Pearson, Born this way, but they're going to look towards Gunkas, hit the first knock up, but no more as Nomi moves back, rolling away from the damage from Syndra. And helps take his team with another inhibitor. That's 2 down for Raiders. They're going to try and run in retreat. AaB chase forward, but can't overextend.
Yeah, they can't overextend. Not with this low HP, but
that the Ribery called out, takes a bunch of damage, knocked up, knocked back in, taken out by Nomi, as Rate can now move forward. Gunkas and Blueman in full retreat, but Boaz is diving back into the fray, running forward, looking for a stun. Nice knockback from Pearson, who's gonna go down, secured by Blueman, the Syndra, as Arcane Teddy dives back into the top side jungle. Members of Raid are reasonably low, but Dragon's up in 5. There's got Baron up in 10 as well. Health bar's not looking too hot from either side. As Born this way might be in trouble. Members of AaB are collapsing, and there's just no support. The Zinzao running up towards the top side, trying to buy time, but will fall in the end as Arcane Teddy gets a medivac back to base. But for AaB, they're going to move towards the Dragon because Raid have already started up. Nomi and Toby are there. You've got Arcane Teddy striding forward once again as well. I think this Dragon could go down. Boas is going to be stunned. He's going to try and get towards the objective, but I don't think he can. Doesn't manage to secure it, as it will be Nomi on that one. Gungas is running as Arcane Teddy stretching forward, looks for the kill, will be able to help Toby secure the first one of the fight. And it's Volibear. This has been such an extended play as another knockout comes through. Gungas is running, gives the shield. Ribery looks for flank, but might be in trouble, gets stunned up as Arcane Teddy dives back in to give assistance, as Nomi will take some damage, survives on a sliver, as Rate look to finally reset.
Oh, it's what they need is a reset. And I mean, I'm kind of confused about Bobas's decision there to not just full send it. I mean, Born this way, he's going to be dead for another 30 seconds when that play's going on. Even if you die, I mean, sure, there's a risk that you lose Baron, but getting the soul, it's permanent. If you can hold on to that, that's just so much pressure that maybe you can use if you don't lose the Baron. But they lose the Dragon, they're probably going to lose the Baron. In fact, not probably, they will lose the Baron. And now with this, Rate should be able to close out this game. It's been messy. And AaB, I've got to say, still very happy with their performance. You wouldn't at all believe that this was a team at the bottom of the table that's only managed to pick up 3 wins throughout the split. Definitely performing a lot better. And that gives me confidence that we'll see them back in summer. Of course, not the final time we'll see them this split. We'll still be playing on the Thursday. But it is definitely hard to ignore the improvement over the last couple of weeks that this team has had.
Definitely, 100% across the board as well. Improvements have been made, which is great to see, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to someone from AaB after this game and just have a chat about how the split has gone for them in the past few weeks. But this game is not over yet, of course. Well, they've still got a Nexus standing. AaB are a threat, and hey, we've seen it earlier today. Bare Nexuses have won the game. So the question being, what can AaB do? Ton was looking for something, couldn't find anything. Dives onto Arcane Teddy, who has to put World Ender immediately, but Person's there. Nomi on the side, looking towards Tun as members of AaB dive back in. Ribery needs to be careful, gets knocked up, knocked back, needs to run, but also the damage. He's what it is, as we're going to see another one fall. It's Syndra this time around as the Boaz gets called out, dove onto, as Borner's way turns his attention towards the bear. Big game hunting as he picks up another for Vayne. It's a double going over to Nomi, and they're going to grab 2 towers as well. It's going to be Rate securing the final win of the day as they take down AaB and put themselves into 3rd position after padding their stats a little.
Yeah, they will pad their stats a little bit. Rate are going to be putting themselves in 3rd place.
Oh, please. No, wait, the way's fine, the way's fine, the way's fine.
They're fine.
I was so scared. I was terrified.
After game 3, man, anything is possible. But yeah, with that win, bring themselves up into sole possession of 3rd place, which makes their match on Thursday all the more exciting. I would have to bust out the foldy sheet, unfortunately. I don't know how it would work, but
well, let's not go into foldy sheets too much. We've got a little bit of a post show that we're going to be able to do with that. But we're going to jump to a short break. When we come back, it's interviews, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few.